Hi, everybody. Welcome to this Moonlight with Black Spring with Autumn. Thank you guys so much for coming in. And as promised, I have come in for a Moonlight stream. I have a few things for you, but of course, there's some flexibility there. And at this late hour, I don't mind giving a shout out to the loyal patrons as well as the subscribers and the followers on Periscope. So shout out to Derek C. Williams, Killer Whale Channels, The Definition of Anarchy, Chrysler Imperial H, Little Miss Goth, Let the Truth Be Told, AZ Infidel, Cold War Jesus, and Chrysler Imperial H. Thank you guys so much for all that you do. And if you are around to stop in, of course, I do have an agenda. Good morning to Chrysler Imperial H. Good morning to you. So I'm just going to try to keep this light. You know, we've got a few digs in here, a few lighthearted digs in here, and I appreciate you guys for tuning in for the Halloween hacks. Get your mask hacks. You know, put a face on those masks if you're if you're under those mandates. Shout out to Clout9. Clout9, is this your first time here? Shout out to you. And shout out to Chrysler Imperial H. Thank you so much. And thank you guys so much for taking care with the channelytics. I really, really appreciate you guys and all that you do. And so I'll give you guys just a couple minutes to get in here. I want to do just a tiny bit of a rant before we get started. And of course, it's always a good time to do a rant. I don't do those a lot, but I mean, this week has been pretty heavy already with the trials coming out on the vaccines, if you will. Some very unsettling things in reference to those vaccines. And that is a developing story that we will continue to follow. Wow, it's Old Head Deuce. Shout out, good morning. Good morning to everyone by now. Good morning, wherever you are. The only place that I can imagine that it's not quite morning right now. Well, I know it's at least, it's not quite morning. It's not quite morning in in Europe right now, I don't think. So, but we'll keep going, no less. So let's get going here. So the rant. Okay, so you know we talked a little bit. We talked about, of course, the trials beginning with the HBCUs and the city of Chicago. That's another story. There will be a video coming out on that, without a doubt. And then this is AstraZeneca. On that project, and they've actually halted their actual trials because it looks like somebody didn't have the best experience with that on the European front. That comes in to us, but we also had some other things to go on. So we'll just see. That's the phase 3 of the trials. So we'll see what happens. But I want to talk just a little bit about Ted Cruz, and it looks like Pelosi has inspired a street artist out of San Francisco. I mean, I think he didn't just do art for Pelosi. He's done some other artwork for other members, if I can call them that, or should I call them the comrades of the Democrat Party. And we might even look at Davos. I want to go into Davos. That might give you some insight on a lot of things that are going on, because people are still on this whole, you know, conspiracy theory, and they say, oh, and they call everybody a conspiracy theorist, and you know that's a shutdown mechanism, if you ask me. And it's almost right up there next to them calling you racist or fascist or other smelly names that they want to associate you with. So we might get into that. We'll see. And then we have a back the blue response. A response I haven't seen before, but no less interesting. Yes. So, and then we'll hear from Kim Klasick. And actually, how about we start? We'll do a little bit out of the conventional order. We'll go with Kim Klasick, and yeah, we'll go with some politics. And I mean, my gosh, the Ted Cruz story. I think that's going to be something we're going to follow because the liberals are scared out of their cartoon minds that who knows, Roe v. Wade may be overturned. Who knows? But of course, we'll get into that. And yes, we have a couple of other videos, and then we'll round out. I thank you guys so much for taking your Friday morning. Good morning to alien believers. Thank you guys so much for coming in. Shout out to everyone. Shout out to Chrysler Imperial H, Clout 9, Old Head Deuce, and alien believers. Hope you guys are doing well. But yeah, Old Head Deuce. That is not. I'm telling you, that is a gut wrencher for me. I mean, it's not quite good. Okay. I mean, yeah. Well, without further ado, let's go ahead and see. If you guys aren't familiar with Kim Klasick, yikes. I'm already cumbersome with the consonants. Kim Klasick is actually running for the late Elijah Cummings seat. So let's hear from Kim Klasick, if you don't mind. Just a little bit lighter, and she's pretty outspoken, and you've got a lot of bright-eyed, bushy-tailed individuals running for office, and we'll see what that looks like. I mean, it's like, to me, and this is, I guess, part of my rant / opening statement. Here you see, it looks great. It looks great to see all these smiling faces. And, we had Joe Collins on the show about back in May, I believe. And yes, it is Chrysler. But I had something to work on. So I needed to stay up. And I just said, you know what? I'll do this late stream, and that means I probably won't do a stream tomorrow. So I'll get the videos out tomorrow. So just take it a little bit easier tomorrow, because this week has been a little bit of a crazy maker's week. But yeah, we have many people that are running. We have lots of Black conservatives running for Republican offices. And the thing about Washington, I think Washington is so, it's almost like going into, I don't know, I would imagine it's something like you're going in with all these great intentions and and you're going to save the world and you're going to save the country. But how, considering it seems how compromised the Congress, we have a Congress that's, to me, pretty failed overall, pretty much failed. And I think it's happened because we've kind of tolerated the kind of ignorance and the kind of the lack of loyalty to the constituents, to the people overall. Like, these people do not uphold their oaths of office. So it's almost like you kind of go in there, it's kind of like the freshman 15 or something. You go in there in shape and you're all ready to rock. And the next thing you know, you start getting, I'm wondering if it's worse than the freshman 15, but I'm wondering if it's like, is it like freshmen, like the seniors or the vultures are right there waiting for you when you come in, like fresh meat. You're fresh meat if you're new to Congress, I mean, who knows what kind of proposals or nefarious propositions you get. I mean, I just think we need a swipe of just they just that system is just not they are I just are like, who are they? Are they working for the people? I don't think so. Term limits would be one direction, and I just think that they should be held to a higher standard than they are. I mean, I mean, we'll see. I mean, we'll see what happens, but let's hear from, I'm just saying, looking the part to run for office, I think that's the easy part. I think that's the easy part. Keep the faith. It's been a lifetime. Thank you so much for stopping in at this hour. I know I'm out there. I'm out here, you know, I'm out here with the coyotes right now, but thank you so much for coming by. And I don't know. This might sound like a little nostalgic or old school, or those of you that are doing that ice cream run, or doing that late night snack run, or I don't know if you guys remember that show from USA. It's Up All Night with Rhonda Shear. It was I'm telling my age, I guess. But yeah, but I just can't imagine, like going, it's gotta be the worst thing ever to get to Congress and thinking, I'm gonna save the world. You go in there with a Wonder Woman, you know, kit and everything. You look the part and you get there and it's like, I'm actually not gonna present all of my ideas. Nobody actually wants to hear how I can make my district better. I just I don't know. Maybe I'm overextending or whatever, but I just think it's not a piece of pie. So without further ado, I will not dull Miss Klasick's shine, or her I won't dash her dreams, but let's go to Miss Klasick. Thank you guys so much for coming in. I really appreciate it. Keep the faith. I appreciate it. Appreciate it. Somebody remembers those times. So we're going to go on over to Kim Klasick, and I'm just saying, I'm just wondering, like, they have the freshmen. They talked about, you remember, oh my gosh, was it 2018 where many people were like, vote dim out? Was it Will Johnson? Is it vote dim out? And a lot of people didn't vote dim out. In fact, many of these seats were flipped. Yeah, Chrysler late night munchie run. And many of these seats were flipped blue. So, and okay, but we'll get into some election rhetoric later, because Zuckerberg and all these people are already trying to tell you guys that basically letting you know they're going to cheat. So without further ado, I'm happy to take you guys over to Miss Klasick. And she's very well spoken. And I just, I don't know. It's just, is it enough? The way we're doing things, the way we're doing things now, it's just, I don't know. It gets to be seedy. All right, guys. So what we're going to do is we're going to go into Miss Klasick here, and I won't put the wrong clips on the screen. It's midnight. Give me a little leverage here. Just give me a couple of inches. All right. So this is entitled, I Can't See Joe Biden Pulling Off a Win Against Trump. Now, this is coming from Kimberly Klasick. She says, can we be honest? Many people voted for Barack Obama because he's what, ladies and gentlemen? Black. That was the big push, quote, elect the first black president, end quote. To believe Hillary or Joe could be Obama 2.0 is delusional, she says. When your party has nothing to offer but race and gender bait, you fail. Hashtag you ain't black. All right, we're going to go ahead and roll it.
They talked about the campaign trail and their relationships with Joe Biden. Kimberly, will Obama's involvement really be critical here for the Democratic ticket? It seems like he is behind a lot of it, and people are questioning whether or not he's going to be running the show should Joe Biden get in.
Yeah, see, I just don't think it's going to sell. Just like in 2016, we saw Hillary Clinton was running on basically being President Obama 2.0. This is what the DNC never wants to admit. But President Obama was elected, I think, because a lot of people wanted to see that first black president, right? So then they put through Hillary Clinton. Now you've got Joe Biden, but they don't fit the bill here. You know, they're always talking about the color of one's skin, you know, the gender piece. So, yeah, you've got Kamala Harris on the ticket, but I don't think it's enough to sell Joe Biden. And we see, you know, Joe's deteriorating each day. You know, I can't even imagine what it's going to be like for him to debate President Trump. You know, he is very low energy. He doesn't seem to be with it. We see now, you know, his campaign across the country right now. You've got 5 or 6 people that are in front of him at a time, where you've got President Trump just last night in front of an audience of 15,000. You know, again, I just can't see Joe Biden pulling this off.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you guys so much. So that was Kimberly Klacik, and Kimberly Klacik again is running for the late Elijah Cummings seat in Baltimore. So we'll see what that looks like. And also, I don't know if you guys are familiar with the presidential debates, and we'll see if that holds up. But the debates are scheduled to take place on September 29th. So we'll see. I don't know. I don't even know. You guys shoot me a 1 if you think there's actually going to be a debate. Shoot me a 2 if you think it's going to be a Zoom. Zoom debate in honor of le COVID-19. Shoot me 1 or a 2. 1, it's going to happen. 2, and how many masks are you willing to put on the fact, and I'm not a betting woman, that they're going to have fact checkers. They're going to be you're going to have fact checkers for the rest of your American lives. Okay? Zuckerberg has promised you fact checking. And I think I might even just get some popcorn for the 29th. In fact, even if it's just styrofoam, you know, I'll just get it and spray paint it and just put it on deck. Maybe I'll make something else. Old head dude says Trump equals Clover Lang. Chrysler says the debates are going to be Trump on one end at the podium in a TV monitor. If the other podium for Mr. Biden, I think that's what the debates are going to look like. Nice, Chrysler. Hi, shout out to Mile Hyman 21. Thank you so much for coming in. So, yeah. So we'll just, I don't know, maybe I'll set up the whole, I don't know if I'll be able to stream it. It would be great if I could just stage the whole thing, just set it up. Because I just don't, yeah, we'll see. It's going to be, so Chrysler voted for that there will be a Zoom style debate. A Zoom debate. Now, I really don't know how they're going to circumvent the questions on it if they go with the Zoom style debate for Biden. I really don't know how they were going to manage that. Yeah. So yeah, that's going to be interesting. So I guess we can count that down. We can count down. We can count. What are the chances that Kamala will debate Trump instead? That will. I don't know. So we're looking at roughly 2.5 weeks ish for that debate. That's going to be on a Tuesday, folks. A Tuesday debate. It will. I don't. Do you keep the faith? Who are have they selected the moderators? Yeah, I'm not sure who the moderators are. I hear something about not Wolf Blitzer, but Chris Wallace. I think I heard that name. Now that's plural of hearsay. I need to confirm that, but we'll see. I think Chris. I mean, seriously, guys, you got a lot of people that are a lot of anti-American people that are dealing in entertainment. Chris Wallace. I don't remember who the other was. I was pretty confident about Chris Wallace, but anybody else I'm not quite sure about. So it's going to be some entertainment for you on the 29th. So we'll see. We'll see what that looks like. Shout out to everybody in the stream. It's nice to see you guys in this hour. I look forward to it's been a long day. And I look forward to seeing you guys, and not expecting very many people to show up, but I'm glad you guys did. So let's move right on. Let's move on to some other business here. Thank you guys for coming out. Thank you guys so much for taking care with the channelytics, Reindeer games. It seems like I might manage the reindeer games a little better in the evenings. So I tell you what, why don't we're kind of going on a light stroke right now. So why don't we go to the street artist Sabo, who slams Nancy Pelosi. I don't think Nancy's going to quite wiggle her way out of this. I mean, her career is hanging in the bounds already, but I think she might have just, the straw that broke the camel's back might have been this salon situation. So, and then the salon owner has been basically mob ruled and harassed and practically run out of town. And she had a GoFundMe. Was it Erica Keeson? So yeah, let's move on to something else here. Shout out to everybody in the stream. Thank you guys so much for hitting that like, unlike, or doing your due diligence on the channel. I really appreciate all of that. So I'm going to take you right on over to Glenn Beck has a pretty straightforward take on many of the things, even the trivial things. I think he's pretty reliable, pretty consistent with what he does. So let's go over and hear from Beck and the actual the fan club, the San Francisco fan club. They are totally toasting Nancy right about now. So yeah, you might even be able to get some merch from this situation. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get ready to cue this one up. And I mean, this guy's got some great merchandise. I mean, I think it's more than worth it. I mean, this election is, with all jokes aside, it's certainly an election that we're going to be reeling from it for decades to come, or we're going to be restoring things or making things better by not throwing the baby out with the bathwater. So I'll be right with you on this clip. All right, so I'm going to play this. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Yeah, Beck's pretty experienced. He's pretty solid. All right, here we guys.
don't even know how we can explain on public airwaves Sabo's latest work in San Francisco. Hello, Sabo. How are you?
I'm great. Thanks for having me on, Glenn.
You're welcome. I am a big fan of yours, and the two that I saw over the weekend, I think, are some of your best work. Let's talk about, and maybe we can show it up on the Blaze, the bus stops in San Francisco. And remember, you're on FCC airwaves, so how do you explain this?
How do I explain this? I saw the video of her getting her hair done, and all I could think is, how could this woman sit in a chair and have this beautician work on her, knowing she's not only devastated her business, but she's devastated the entire city that she represents, and she does not care.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, I had to do this.
Yeah.
And it's her with curlers and a old-fashioned hair dryer sitting in the salon.
Yeah.
And by all means, go and check it out.
Yeah. Yeah. And it has a phrase up above it that actually that works because she said she wanted her hair.
She wanted a blowout.
She wanted a blowout.
Yeah, so it's close to that.
It's close to that.
Yeah.
And
basically telling everybody that as well.
Yes. And she is. I mean, it is really the perfect political art because it's funny, but it is also absolutely true. You're right. That is what she's saying. No, I don't care. I don't care about any of you people. I'm going to do what I want. So you put these up all over San Francisco. And
yes,
our question is, how do you not go to jail for that?
Well, I work for the CIA. How do I not go to jail? I don't, when the police pull you over and when they catch you, you just say, yes, sir, no, sir. If they tell you to take it down, you take it down. It's this. As soon as you start giving the police lip, it's pretty much over. They're going to cuff you and stuff you. So you just show them the respect and that they deserve, and that's it. I've been very lucky.
Yeah, I because you have done, you've done some remarkable work in the past, and as you know. I believe that you are going to be very popular once we get past all of this Marxism, because I think your art should be seen all over the country. And I know we talked over the weekend. Are we going to do the T-shirts and mugs and things on this? Do you know?
Yeah, I hope so. I hope so. They're gonna look great.
Okay, yeah.
And I also flew down to Venice Beach where I put up a basketball backboard with a Joe Biden message on it.
I love that.
It's a backboard in Venice Beach, and basketball is like a religion there. So I had to hit that backboard, and it's Joe Biden saying, "Make this shot, or you ain't black."
And, so good. So wait, so how long do these things last, do you think?
Not at all. Hours. I mean, I have to go there as soon as the sun comes up and take pictures because, I call myself the fastest censored street artist in America, if not the world. And if I'm lucky, I'll have a couple of hours to be able to take pictures.
And do you know if anybody, do they take them and collect them, or they just tear them up and destroy them?
Some people do collect, especially the hangers, but something like this, all you could do is tear it down.
Because they're just brilliant. They really are brilliant. And do you do this? Is this computer generated? Are you doing your art on computer?
Yeah, I do. I use Illustrator, Photoshop. I've been doing this forever.
Yeah.
And, the important thing is the idea. I mean, with a lot of these ideas, I have to go for a jog or something. Putting it together for me is very easy. It's like playing the piano.
Yeah.
But just coming up with a good idea, that's really the complicated part.
Yeah. Well, you have another one of Kamala Harris. And did you put this up with Kamala? It's hard to look at, but strangely, you can't take your eyes off it. The Joe Biden and Kamala Harris image. Where she is wearing a police shirt and garters, and Joe is completely naked except for what appears to be a mask covering his genitals, And
yeah, I think he forgot where it was supposed to go.
but,
It happens. It happens.
and you put these up in, I would think that these would stay because there's Kamala Harris. How is she popular with the people that, on the left? How is she popular?
I think they're taking a dive. I really do. The Democrats haven't been this. I don't know what they're doing, to tell you the truth, but I can't imagine they think they're going to win. I can't think of anyone that even likes that woman.
Yeah, I can't. I think this, and with the attitude of Nancy Pelosi, I would think that the Nancy Pelosi and the Kamala Harris might last a while in San Francisco, because I mean, there are a lot of people that don't agree with me politically that do not like what Nancy Pelosi did.
Yeah, and I was surprised when I was taking photographs. People were actually coming up to me, and they didn't even know I was the artist. They were just saying, "This is the greatest thing I've ever seen," and that is not the kind of response I would expect in San Francisco.
Yeah. I think they've overplayed their hand. Sable, thank you so much, man. I really appreciate it, and thanks for staying in touch. I really appreciate it. Thank you.
Great. I hope you enjoy my painting.
You got it.
See you later.
I do. I have one that he painted after 9/11. It's amazing. And I bought one of the flying monkeys that he hung in Los Angeles that said Hillary 16. I just think is great. I think his art is way ahead of his time. He's not going to be popular until after we get past all of this, but his art speaks directly to the streets.
All right, my friends. You know what? That was pretty good. Like, I'm just thinking, what? Why don't we get some art like that around here? I mean, which I think you can actually buy the shirts with the Sabo's depiction of Pelosi under the dryer, but that Kamala and Joe Biden on the transit, on the public transit seats and displays, that is pretty classic. So yeah, I thought you guys might enjoy. Shout out to Chrysler Imperial Age. Yes, I'm going to be looking for that guy's art, and because I tell you one thing about it, I think Glenn Beck's spot on when he says that guy's art is going to skyrocket. And I tell you what, if he's selling a shirt for $20 right now, after this election, or 10, 20, 30 years from now, those shirts are going to be worth a lot of money. I bet. In fact, I'd love to see that mural that he's painted on the backs of the basketball goals. Yeah, I'll take one of those too. Oh, who would have thought? So shout out to everybody. Shout out to the Lockhart Perspective. Thank you so much for coming in, ladies and gentlemen. The Lockhart Perspective is here. Shout out to you. Everybody get to know each other. This is not a grow stream, but we grow in a covert manner around here. It's nice to get some laughs in, because I'm telling you, there's a lot of tension going on. There's a lot of destruction going on, and this is, it's like these people are promising destruction. They're promising, to me, that's spiritual, that's biblical when you start those kinds of promises. So it's always we'll meet the laugh wherever we can around here. Shout out to everybody in the stream. Shout out to, let me do a couple of shout outs here. Shout out to Old Head Deuce, CLC's in the house from Florida. Thank you guys so much. Shout out to Old Head Deuce, Alien Believers. Shout out to the Lockhart Perspective. Let's see, who else do we have? Keep the Faith was here. And let's see. Okay, so we're going to keep going here. Shout out to Mile High Man 21 from Periscope. Thank you guys over on Periscope if you're tuning in. I really appreciate it. It's kind of crazy, a wonky little week. Shout out to Clout9 from Periscope. It's totally worth it to come in and, not too heavy. We'll keep things going. I don't know. We might get into Davos today. I don't know. We might. Shout out to the Lockhart Perspective. Thank you so much. So we're going to keep going. We're going to keep rolling right into our next story. So every now and then we'll turn to something a little bit more, a little bit more vanilla. And I don't mean that in this wonky world. That is not me projecting any type of supremacy. Okay. So, those of you that are new to the channel, I encourage you to run on over there to the community tab and check out those standards, because I tell you, I have the best mods on the planet around here. In and out, nobody gets hurt. But it's all there for your edification and for your enjoyment. So we're pretty easy around here. So we're happy to have you, and let's keep going. So let's go to our next story. Let's just look just a little bit. We're going to keep the imagery going here for a second. So we're going to take a look at, looks like a situation, a back the blue situation. Kind of a situation that I don't quite see very often, but we're going to go over and look at it. Hope everybody's doing well out there in the stream on this Friday. It's September 11th, ladies and gentlemen. Did you guys know that? It's the second Friday. It's the second Friday of the year. I think we have Occupy Wall Street coming up next week, so we're going to be tuned and tapped into that around here. We'll see what that looks like. See what that does for the left, and who knows? All right, so we're going to rock on over to some back the blue action. You guys like this time? So we're going to watch a little, I'm going to give you my disclaimer. I'm not sure how many obscenities that may come out of this, expletives. I'm not sure, but just going to give you the heads up. This is the straight up version. This is not with the whipped cream. So you got to take it or, plug your ears up. Thanks so much, guys.
Get on. Hey. Officer, stop. Don't beat that man up now, y'all.
All right, I just had to pause this just for a second. It looks like they were trying to apprehend this guy. And, it started up with him and the cop going down to the ground. And, I guess the community came over and said, hey, this is not happening like this. So they came over and started taking shots at him. But then I think they're trying to assist. So I'll stop talking and we'll keep watching.
Going down to the clay. Look at all these people. Relax. No. Go ahead, get on. Hey. Officer, stop. Don't beat that man up now, y'all. Going down to the clay. Look at all these people. Relax. No.
All right, it was looking a little bit like looks like a little bit of apprehension. They were trying to assist with I guess kind of a a cop and citizens arrest, if I can put those two together. But what, they were getting it done. It was and then in a perfect world, people would actually they would be able to do these kinds of things, and like be able to assist, maybe, I don't know, I don't even know if I would even condone like assist with a regular, or that's or there's some type of standard of assisting with an arrest or an apprehension, but but it's dangerous no less. But it seemed to be effective, because I'm not sure the age of the cop, but he kind of went down, and he kind of stayed down until they kind of got him off, and until the backup showed up. So I'm not sure exactly what his charge was, but that's this community's helping out. Take the bad guy down, take him out, get him out of here. So we'll see. But I will tell you, I had a friend. I had a friend who even told me that even in his city, that the mayor, and that's a situation that I'm going to follow up, is proposing a citizens police. You guys know what that means? What does that imply to you? A citizens police. What do you think about that? You think is that pretty much along the lines of the defund the police efforts, but defund the police for pet projects, right? Yeah, I'm just curious. Give me your best shot at a citizen police, what that entails. So we'll see what this looks like. Let's see. This thing is spreading like wildfire. One city gets an idea, a city that has pretty much not restored any type of order. One of these cities gets the idea, oh, we can defund the police, and then all of a sudden, all the small town armpit towns in America, they want to do the same thing. So we'll see. You guys have citizens you want to protect you. Shout out to everybody in the stream. Hope you guys are doing well on your Friday morning. I said, whether you're getting that Haagen-Dazs run or that Subway run, I don't know. In these times, is Subway even open at these hours right now? I can't say that I'm confident that they are. The Lockhart perspective is day on patrol. Oh gosh. So yeah, don't come to my house. Don't patrol me. So yeah, it's like all these. It's like everybody wants their turn on the. Everybody wants their turn on the. No cop drops. I can't believe it. I can't. And it's the most vulnerable communities that need that. Everybody. We have, and I would not advocate that the cops. I don't think it was ever intended for the cops to be an all solution enforcement of law. I don't think so. I think that's why we had the Second Amendment before we had cops. But CLC says, Smollett says that they're open. Smollett says I can get the Subway. You guys can get the Subway on your Friday morning runs. I don't know. Even the IHOP. I think IHOP, not IHOP, even the Waffle House. If you guys have a Waffle House or Huddle Houses, or I think everybody got shut down, you know? The most popular, I don't want to say hole in the wall kind of establishment, mom and pop places, they got shut down, you know, or there were lots of outbreaks. And then of course it went from there to violence. You know, that's been the pattern. You know, case, you know, you got COVID, and then you got you know, the crime. Even the restaurants, the same kind of yeah, same things going on there. Appreciate you guys so much for being in this stream. Thank you guys so much for coming out. So we're going to go on to another story. And in this, so we've heard from Sabo. Let's go to Pelosi while the irons are still hot, because I think this is going to run out soon. She's going to be on fumes. That's going to run out soon. So let's look at this. We're going to do, apparently there was a claim that came out that Pelosi was removed from the House for drunken and disorderly conduct. Satire is what they said. This is according to Reuters. Let me just put this up for you. We'll follow this up. You know, Nancy seems to you know, be beyond the cumbersome consonants is what I call it. But according to Reuters, some social media users are sharing a text that claims U.S. House Speaker Nancy Pelosi was, quote, was removed from the House floor for drunken and disorderly conduct, end quote. This unfounded allegation stems from a satirical article. Some people appear to have taken the claim seriously. Well, why wouldn't we? I mean, every Thursday she shows up, you know, waving her arms and slurring her words and, you know, cantankerous when she's challenged on anything she actually said. You know, is that too much? So, you know, some people took it seriously. You know, it's not unreasonable. Reuters, yikes. With users sharing the text and making comments like, quote, why am I not surprised, end quote, and, quote, aren't they proud of this disgrace? And you wonder why their leadership is evil. Well, there you have it, end quote. The lengthy text starts, quote, drunk and violent Nancy Pelosi cursed out Republicans, removed from House floor, end quote. We'll have to follow this one up. I think that's pretty comical, actually. You know, she just cannot stay out of she can't keep her nose clean, or she can't keep her hair clean or something right now. Examples of the claim are visible. So we'll see what that looks like. So if you can see in here, you can see her. She's got her mask on, and yeah, she's charging through. Okay, so some iterations feature screenshots of what appears to be news articles here and here. We'll go into those. A Google search reveals the claim stems from a satirical article by Bust a Troll. Bust a Troll. We've got to go into Bust a Troll, guys. Bustatroll.org. How do you bust a troll? You guys know how to do that? Okay. You see, that's what they have fact checkers for. That's what I have moderators for. But let's get back to the Bust a Troll, shall we? All right. So bustatroll.org is part of the, quote, America's last line of defense, end quote, network of satire pages and sites. Bustatroll.org about us. It describes itself as a, quote, parody, satire, and tomfoolery, end quote, site. And its logo includes the label, quote, satire rated, end quote. So we'll go in here and see what does Bust a Troll have to offer us. You know, I bust a troll regularly. You have to bust a troll before you start your day. Shucks, don't tell me they have an actual video. Okay. All right. So let's go ahead and let's look at this one. We'll bust trolls together on Friday morning. Shout out to everybody. The Lockhart Perspective says, That's what they get for teaching a clone how to drink. All right, so let's get on over here and see what the damage is. Okay, Republican relief bill fails the Senate. So we'll see if she had a meltdown or something like that around here on the Bust the Trolls. We're gonna bust the trolls right out of her hair. I appreciate you guys for coming in. So it looks like I was working and then I was not working. Hang on, Buster Trolls are trolling me. Okay, so let's do it. Let's see. How about some maintenance on Buster Trolls?
Passing a coronavirus relief bill failed in a partisan vote on the Senate floor.
The motion is not agreed to.
Though 52 Republicans voted for Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell's aid proposal, the bill needed Democratic support to reach the 60 votes needed to pass. Senator Rand Paul of Kentucky, the only Republican to vote against the bill, has said he's against additional spending on a next-round relief bill. All 46 Democrats also voted against the motion, with the exception of California Senator Kamala Harris, presidential candidate Joe Biden's choice for vice president, who spent Thursday campaigning in southern Florida. Minority Leader Chuck Schumer blasted the GOP's failed proposal during a speech on the Senate floor Thursday.
This bill is not going to happen because it is so emaciated, so filled with poison pills, so partisanly designed. It was designed to fail.
The slimmed-down relief proposal didn't include funding for state and local governments, a key component of the Democrat-led HEROES Act, which passed the House of Representatives nearly 4 months ago. Thursday's failure could be the final nail in the coffin for a deal on coronavirus relief before Election Day. Senator Richard Shelby, the chair of the powerful Senate Appropriations Committee, told reporters he thinks a relief bill won't happen until after the election, meaning millions of Americans may have to wait up to 2 months for another bill to be considered. Nathaniel Reed, Newsy, the Capitol.
All right, is that newsy enough for you? Yikes. All right, I apologize for the blast there. That was a bit of a blast. But yes, so you can see how, I don't know, I think, what is it, kind of the mantra, let you retire from the career before the career retires you. But even that might be a little bit, even that might not fit Nancy's situation. So we'll go on. Okay. Shout out to everybody in the stream. I just want to do another round of thank yous. Thank you to Old Head Deuce, the Lockhart Perspective. Thank you so much for coming in. I really appreciate it. Fantastic content creator, ladies and gentlemen. CLC in Florida, thank you so much for coming in. Let's see, we had some people from Square 5 Keeper from Periscope. Thank you, Square 5 Keeper. And Alien Believers, Chrysler Imperial H. If you need, if the Moonlight stream is good for your, if it knocks you out, then, by all means. Sometimes people pay good money for knockout podcast and knockout materials. You can't beat it, right? Shout out to everybody in the stream. We've only got 1 or 2 more stories, and then we will fold up and pack in. Thanks so much, the Lockhart Perspective. Thanks so much for taking some time here with us. We appreciate it. All right. So we're going to go over to another story. Good night. Okay, so let's go over to the next. So the next story might be a little bit more vanilla, if you will. I've already done my disclaimer. We want to get into Davos, but I think I'll save Davos for another day. The Davos summit. You know, it's kind of an elite group. It's not kind of an elite, it is an elite group. So we'll go into that later. But for now, let's just have a quick look at this one story on let's look at the hopeful in Ted Cruz. It would just be so nice if they could just move on, if the Congress could just start working for the people. Now I feel a rant or rave coming on right now. It would just be so nice. There's so much work that needs to be done, but we spend more time these days undoing things. And I don't know, I don't know. It's not the best situation. All right. So what I'm going to be sharing with you is a story that comes from the Statesman. All right. So what it looks like here is that Ted Cruz is named as a potential Supreme Court nominee. All right. Now, you remember back in 2016, Trump referred to the irony. Ted Cruz is lying Ted Cruz. I mean, I actually thought that Ted Cruz, he hung in there for a long time. He really did. I think he went the distance with Trump. And I remember Marco Rubio being a part of that number. I tell you, 2016, that 2016 lineup was entertaining. It was entertaining on the left with Hillary and Bernie and Donna Brazil slipping questions. I tell you, Debbie Wasserman Schultz getting kicked out of the park. Hey, that party was imploding. It was imploding almost 4 years ago. All right, without further ado, I'll go on. So Ted Cruz named as potential Supreme Court nominee, according to the statesman.com. All right. So, of course, on Wednesday, he was named as a potential nominee to the U.S. Supreme Court. Because, we've got a bunch of rhinos in there. What's his name? Roberts. He needs to go. He is conservative in name only. A C no. Can I say that? He's a C no. Shout out to everybody in the stream. So let's keep going here. Appreciate you guys for hanging in there and taking care of those channelytics. I appreciate it. So, all right. So President Donald Trump announced a list of 20 potential nominees to the Supreme Court Wednesday that includes U.S. Senator Ted Cruz, Republican of Texas, now a Texan. The president also named another Texan and Cruz protege, James Ho, a judge on the U.S. Fifth Circuit Court of Appeals. He would be the first Asian American on the nation's highest court. Yikes. I really wish we could kind of start to eliminate some of these handles. That you can't have unity without that. You can't keep these segregation tags up and and people's hearts be free. You've got to, inclusive would just be making everybody American. It would just be that, and just human beings. It's really fundamental. All right, so I'm done with that. So I'll continue here. There is no Supreme Court vacancy, but Trump has sought to assure his base that any possible future choices he made for a Supreme Court vacancy would be from a list of reliably conservative lawyers, especially after the administration lost 2 high court rulings in June. Imagine that. We know where that came from. Cruz, who was Trump's closet rival for the GOP presidential nomination in 2016, has since embraced the president's policies, but had not shown any interest, at least publicly, in being named to the court. But in a statement, Cruz said he was, quote, humbled, end quote, to be on the list of candidates. Quote, I am grateful for the president's confidence in me and for his leadership in nominating principled constitutionalists to the federal bench over the last 4 years, end quote, said Cruz. Quote, as a member of the Senate Judiciary Committee, I've been proud to help confirm the bench over 200 of the president's judicial nominees, including 2 to the Supreme Court. It's humbling and an immense honor to be considered for the Supreme Court, end quote. Now, Cruz is a Harvard Law School graduate, clerked for the Supreme Court Chief Justice William Rehnquist, and as Texan Solicitor General argued before the court. Trump has appointed 2 judges to the Supreme Court, Neil Gorsuch and Brett Kavanaugh. In addition to Cruz, other names on the list include Senators Tom Cotton of Arkansas and Josh Hawley of Missouri. Quote, every one of these individuals will ensure equal justice, equal treatment, and equal rights for citizens of every race, color, religion, and creed, end quote, Trump said at the White House. The health of Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg, who has been treated for cancer, has fueled speculation about a vacancy. Avi Rahman, spokesman for the Texas Democratic Party, said, quote, Ted Cruz will never get the chance to be on the Supreme Court because Donald Trump will lose this election. If the Democrats need another reason to vote, here it is, plain sight. We have to win to keep fringe right-wingers like Ted Cruz from entering a lifetime appointment on the Supreme Court. We're working every day to do just that. Right. We know about that. We know about what you're working on. We can figure it out. So yeah, so there's your snippet on Ted Cruz. Now, who would I be if I didn't bring you this? So I'm going to be bringing you something from the JBS, our friends at the JBS. All right, so I'm going to do from our friends at the JBS, I'm going to bring to you. JBS is a constitutional, the segment of our show is brought to you by our friends at the John Birch Society. Less government, more responsibility, and with God's help, a better world. The JBS is a constitutional and educational organization that has been around for over 60 years, dedicated to upholding and defending the Constitution and working to preserve our freedoms and liberties in this country. The JBS does not endorse any political party or candidates. Rather, it focuses on the education, training, and development of the American voters. So with that said, let's have a look at Ted Cruz's profile here. Shout out to everybody in the stream. Good question, CLC. You know, if somebody sees, if anybody says, "Oh, where is she?" They'll say, "Oh, the person with that coattail and her eye behind the curtain, that was her. She was watching her granddaughter behind the curtain." I tell you, who knows? Who knows? Maybe they had a body double. So let's run over to the JBS. I'm going to round things out from the JBS. I appreciate you guys so much for coming in. It's been a moonlight delight to have you guys here today. I appreciate it. Actually, what we're going to do is we're going to take a look at his constitutional voting record, which most people don't look at these things. But it's a concern to me when people vote with the Democrats and not with the Constitution. So to me, that's a big problem. Got people that are more loyal to their foreign entanglements and their special interests, and they're voting with Democrats. And that's how we get where we are. Transfer of power, transfer of trade, free trade. And everybody, rah, 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 bring the jobs back. And they were the same ones, rah, 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 send them over. See the distinction there? All right, so we're going to go into the index here really quickly. I'm not going to be there long. Just wanted you to see that there is a way to hold Congress accountable, and we don't do that. We don't do that, and we don't have the framework. Most of the time, we don't have the framework to do that. Or, it's not like they're teaching civics in the schools. So here on JBS, you go into via the TNA, you can go into the Freedom Index, and here you can just type in Ted Cruz. Type in any senator, any congressman's name, even somebody that's not serving anymore. They'll have their last run or whatnot. So of course you can see here, I believe it's before your screen. Let's see. All right. So appreciate you guys for hanging in there. So, okay. So what we have here. Oh. All right. So I'm going to share the screen with you. Stop that one, and I'm going to share this screen with you so you can see for yourself what this is. Because I just think they just call it like it is there. They don't really sugarcoat and all these things. They just go, here it is. You can't fix it up. You can't dress it up. All right. I mean, the law is already on the book. I mean, they've already amended. We're not even following the original Constitution. So anything that they do now is so so many perversions. And I think they want to change it, or the Democrats want to get rid of the Constitution altogether. You see what that looks like. It won't be good. Okay, so here we go. So here on your Freedom Index, you will have basically your congressional scorecards based on the Constitution. So that's where this is coming from. So we type in Ted Cruz. Ted Cruz. All right. All right, so you can see here that this is named Ted Cruz, Senator, Texas Republican, and he has a cumulative score, Freedom Index score of 75%. Now, I'm not going to say that that's a super score, but unfortunately, it's pretty high. When I looked at, the average, I've seen some congressman scores in 18 that they vote against the Constitution at a 82%. 82% of the time. Speaker Pelosi has an 18% the last time I checked. Ted Cruz has a 75%. So if you were in school, 75 would still get you passing. Now, I'll tell you, there's two other people. Now, this is just FYI, food for thought, or just FYI, basically. So they give you score breakdowns and and they tell you how Cruz is voting, and whether he's fiscally responsible, whether he's voting for foreign entanglements, things that American people's taxpayer money shouldn't be spent on. These are the things we should be looking at, not their hair, not how good their wife looks, or no. So there's some specific components. So you can see here whether they get green or red based on the way they're voting. The amount of foreign entanglements are just staggering. The budgets, abortion funding. From what I'll do some more research, but from what I can tell, I do believe that the Democrats want the taxpayers to pay for abortion. In fact, I think the UN wants it international. They want that kind of accessibility. And who's going to pay for that? So that's Ted Cruz. And I'll tell you, there's two other people in Congress that I know of that have a rating that's above that. And that's Senator Rand Paul and Representative Thomas Massie out of Kentucky. Shout out to everybody in the stream. Shout out to everybody in the stream. But yes, so BSWA translate. Yeah, so that's what you're dealing with on these scorecards and whatnot. I thought I had changed that page. I'll stop that one. But yeah, so you can actually see these scores. It's like, if you ever meet these people, you can either pat them on the back or say, look, you're in the wrong profession, man. You're spending our money. You're doing transgenerational debt on your pet projects. We want you out of there. So, you can hold them accountable. But this is one way to do it. There's one way to do it. All right. Shout out to everybody in the stream. As I think the Heritage Foundation has something, but I think, I'll stick with my friends at the TNA. I mean, at the JBS. JBS has been around a long time. JBS was around before AJ, if you know who I mean. I don't know if I say that name, will they yank me? These sustainability narcs. What can I say? All right, guys. I really appreciate you guys and your patience for coming in here after hours and eating that Haagen-Dazs or whatever you do at this hour. I tell you, I remember this once as a kid. If you stay up late enough, you would catch Wonder Woman spinning around. Those were the times. Those were the times. We had those little black and white TVs. If you had a channel U on your TV. Hey, maybe you didn't have the top-notch TV in the house, but you were just happy to have that TV. You were happy to have that snow in your room, even when you couldn't pick up anything. So shout out to everybody in the stream. I'm going to do last call for shout outs. CLC in Florida, thank you so much. Old Head Deuce, thank you so much. Shout out to Periscope, everybody that came in or everybody that thought about coming in. I mean, I think at one point I had, just right out of the gate, I was in double digits. So appreciate you guys for coming out. I was just thinking, everybody just wants to see what's going on. Let's see, Old Head Deuce, thank you so much. The Lockhart perspective, even though she's gone, shout out to her. She's fantastic. Shout out to Square 5 Keeper. And I know Chrysler was here earlier. Shout out to Chrysler Imperial 8. Shout out to Alien Believers. Thank you so much. And you guys please stay tuned to everything because this week, before the weekend, I'm trying to get some videos out. So we'll see how I fare in my situation. Shout out to everybody in the stream or everybody that showed up. And let's Keith the Face, shout out to you. And we're going to be keeping an eye on in 2 weeks. I'm going to be seeing if I can bring some special coverage on the. It would be great to watch the debates. Mile Hyman 21. So if you guys want to submit ideas for streaming the debates, it'll be interesting enough. Old Head Dude says, I have insomnia, but Wonder Woman. Thank you so much, CLC in Florida. I'm so glad you could come in. So I appreciate you guys, and thank you guys so much for taking care with your channelytics on this Moonlight Delight stream. And who knows? May look for me again. I'm not sure if I'll do tomorrow, but I'm not sure if I'll do regular stream tomorrow, like a normal time stream, or maybe another midnight stream. We'll see. I appreciate you guys, and have a great rest of your morning and the start of your weekend.